Hey guys, if this is your first time to my channel, hello and welcome. Today I am bringing you another pay or stay away. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the Morphe blush trios and the Morphe blush palettes. Now these are going to be launching on April 12th. They are going to be $12 for the trio and $18 for the palettes. Now when I first saw these, immediately I thought of the Anastasia blush trios that they released, I believe it was last summer or maybe even a little bit before then. But they released these little blush trios, and I have the one in like Peachy Love or Peachy Perfection or some peachy something like that. So there were two that really piqued my interest. There was the Pop of Peach and the Pop of Coral. I know, really out of the box for me, right? Peaches and corals. I'm really stepping it up here, guys, trying to do something different, obviously. But of course I saw these and knew I had to have them. I mean, look how beautiful they are, and they're only $12. And you can get a 10% off discount using someone's discount coupon. I mean, every freaking beauty blogger in the entire world has one. So I think it's a pretty good deal, and I know that Morphe shipping is pretty expensive. I believe it's $7.99, but Morphe is sold in Ulta now, and there's an Ulta like 5 minutes away from my house, so you bet your sweet bottom that I'm going to be over there with my $12 in hand. Now, I don't think that the coupon codes for Morphe apply even in the slightest to the Ulta stores, which would make sense. It's not Morphe, it's Ulta. But you do save that shipping, and $8 shipping versus 10% off. I definitely think that saving the shipping is a way better way to go. So I'm definitely going to hop on over to Ulta and pick those babies up. As far as the blush palette goes, it's not really my thing. The colors in it are pretty, but I don't love all the colors, so it wouldn't make sense for me to buy that big of a palette with that many different shades because I'm not going to get use out of some of them. But if you're a makeup artist or you love all the shades in that palette, it's only $18 plus a discount, or if you go into Ulta, I'm sure it's going to be in Ulta, you'll save the $7 shipping. So I think that this is a really good release, and I anti-hauled Morphe a while ago and said that I was going to be taking a break from them and probably not buying anything unless anything really piqued my interest. Well, girl, that day has come because these piqued my interest so freaking much, more than I thought Morphe could. So I'm very excited for these, and I'm absolutely going to be getting them, and I will do a review on them on this channel. So stay tuned. So the second thing that I'm either going to pay or stay away from is probably the most anticipated and most talked about one throughout the beauty community in general. And that is the Kim Kardashian West launch that is coming out on April 5th. This launch is going to include a palette, which is going to be $45, 2 lip glosses in the shades Juicy and Super Nude, which are going to be $18, and then 1 lipstick in Classic K for $20. Okay, so I just watched Alyssa Ashley's review on the palette, and I'm gonna be honest, it looks freaking good. And I don't doubt that it's going to be good because it is with Mario, her makeup artist, and the dude knows how to do makeup. Probably wouldn't have all these makeup styles that we see on everyone that's popular these days, myself included, if it weren't for Mario. He really made the contouring, the slicked back hair, the really chiseled face with the smoky eye. He made that really well known because of Kim, and that's not Kim's doing. Everyone always says that it's Kim's the one who made it popular, but it was Mario. He's the one who did that. He's the one who put in the work on her face and made something beautiful that everyone loves. So he's the one who really started that trend, not Kim. So I don't doubt that it's going to be a good palette. Now, I've mentioned this before. I don't really want to buy from Kim or Kylie just for personal reasons. Honey, I don't care if you do, but I personally don't. There's no problem with that. We can choose what we want to buy and who we want to buy it from. But I would be lying if I said that I wasn't super intrigued by this palette. I don't really care about the Pop of Blue. It looks really nice, yes, but I watched Georgia Harris's live stream yesterday, and she went through her collection and found a bunch of blues in different palettes. So having a Pop of Blue is not anything new to the market, and her reasoning behind it is a little questionable. Her reasoning when asked why she threw the Pop of Blue in there was because apparently one day she was on her phone and not paying attention, and Mario wanted to do something different with her look, and he pulled out some blue eyeshadow and did this gorgeous blue smoky eye. She apparently was freaking out, and she was like, Mario, what the hell have you done? I'm gonna look like a clown. And then she looked in the mirror and she was just amazed. She thought it was beautiful, and that's great for her, but I think that reasoning for putting the pop of blue in is just kind of dumb. Not like this is the first blue we've ever seen. Let's be honest here. It's not the first blue we've ever seen. If you own any of the colorful Kat Von D palettes, you have some of the best blue shades on the market. Those look freaking incredible. They look pigmented, they look blendable, the metallic ones look really high shine. So if you own any of the Kat Von D colorful palettes, you're probably covered on that pop of blue. So moving on from that specific shade onto the rest of the collection. I think that the palette itself in design and in shade choice and whatnot looks very, very similar to the Kylie Peach palette. I believe it was called the Peach palette. There were so many damn peach things releasing then that I don't even remember what it was called. But I think that it really does look like that palette. And I know that they're working with the same labs, Spats Labs, you know, Colourpop, Kylie, and Kim. They all work under Spats Labs. And I just think it looks too much like the Kylie palette. And I've actually heard that the Kim one is much better than the Kylie one, which does not surprise me because that one did not get rave reviews, let me tell you. But it looks nice, don't get me wrong. I don't need it. I don't like neutrals. I think that the like champagne and the gold shimmers look to die for, and I definitely was intrigued. And I think that if she came out a quad or single shadows or something along the lines of a smaller palette with less shades for less money, I would be more inclined to, you know, dive into this brand and try out something. I know I said I wasn't going to before, but I always keep my options open. I mean, Morphe surprised me earlier with the blushes. You never know. Someone could release an amazing product and I might not like them. Girl, I don't care. If I like your product, I'll buy it from you. But you know, I'm not just gonna throw my money at you just because you release a new palette. As far as the lip glosses go, they look really, really nice. Juicy is this perfect, like, peachy coral shade that kind of shears out. Super Nude is a little too light for me, but I can appreciate a nice nude lip gloss. Classic K looks like a really nice lipstick shade. I'm not totally here for the packaging, but I don't hate it. I think it looks a little cheap, but I do like that it's matte. So it's got some cheapened qualities to it, but the matte frosted kind of packaging and the acrylic looks more luxe, but at the same time it kind of looks like e.l.f. So I'm kind of confused and torn about that. Does anyone else agree with me, or am I the only one here? Like, am I the only one sitting out here thinking this kind of looks like really fancy e.l.f.? I don't know. Another thing that kind of links back to Kylie here is that the lipstick shade is called Classic K. Now, I don't know if you guys remember or if you guys are frequent buyers from Kylie, but most of her products have the name K in it. They're either called like Posy K, True Brown K, I can't remember the rest of them, Mary Jo K. A lot of them have the K at the end, you know, Kylie or Kardashian. They kind of brand themselves around having the K in their name. So I guess I understand why Kim did it, but to me, it just kind of seems like she just kind of stole a little idea from Kylie and just threw it right onto her lipstick. But as far as the whole collection goes, I'm not going to be purchasing any of it, but I don't doubt that it's going to be a good collection. I definitely have kind of high hopes for this collection. I am interested in watching people's reviews because I want to see what the actual performance is, and I know that Alyssa Ashley's review was pretty darn raving of the palette itself. So I'm excited to see people do looks and see what comes of this palette, but for me personally, I'm not going to be buying it right now. If she released something peachy and coral and berry, maybe we'd be talking another story here, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and stay away from this one. So the next item that I will either pay or stay away from is the Milk Watermelon Brightening Serum. It is going to be $36, and it actually looks like it's available now on the Sephora website. This product comes in a stick form, and it is supposed to brighten and hydrate. It contains vitamins A, C, and E. Now, upon seeing the marketing for this, I was so intrigued. Like, the watermelon-y color of the actual product itself makes me want to eat it. I said this in other videos before, but I used to eat chapstick when I was little because I liked the way it looked and I liked the way it smelled. And this brings me back to a simpler time of when I used to eat my chapstick. Like, let's be honest here, that looks like a giant thing of delicious watermelon lip balm. Am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one. Don't lie. Don't lie. You used to taste your chapstick too, and it's okay. We're non-judgmental here. This looks really, really nice. I like the idea of having a serum in a stick form. It makes it super easy and you can just glide it on your face and call it a day. The kind of concerns that I have with this type of product is that you are kind of contaminating the product by putting it straight onto your face and closing the lid and just walking away from it and letting the bacteria that was on your face kind of sit and breed on top of the actual product. It is really cool. It's very innovative. It's a unique idea, but I think that the kind of execution of it isn't the best because of that fact, and because you are literally putting it on your face where there's probably bacteria. Even if you washed your face, there's probably something still there, and putting it in your skincare and letting it sit inside your skincare. I feel like that can't be good after like multiple uses of using the product. I feel like that bacteria is really going to build up. Personally, I don't really know. I've never used any of Milk's products, so I might be totally just bullshitting this, and they might have some system down to where it can keep the bacteria at a minimum, and if they do, that's awesome, and if they don't, is that even possible? Maybe they should go into the labs and figure that out. This is a cool idea, but I feel like there are some smaller problems that are just making me kind of, hold back on it for right now, but I am intrigued by it. I think the price point is pretty expensive, but if it's a really nice serum, then I think it would be worth the price, but I don't know how Milk's products perform, and I haven't seen anyone talk about it yet because it was just released a couple of days ago. So I am keeping this on my radar, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and stay away from it. But I'm going to check back and check with people that I trust and see what everyone thinks of it. And if it seems like it's a good item, maybe I'll go ahead and pick it up. For right now, I'm going to stay away from it. But I am very intrigued, Milk makeup. And the packaging and the marketing ploy really worked on me because those watermelon chapsticks were so darn good. I can't even lie. They were. And this makes me want it for that reason. The next item on my pay or stay away list is the Fenty Beauty Body Lava and the Fenty Beauty Fairy Balm. These are both dropping on April 6th. The Body Lava is an all-over highlight that is going to be in 2 different shades, Who Needs Clothes and Brown Sugar. Really cute names. They are going to be retailing for $59. Get 3 fluid ounces, and that is 90 milliliters. Now the Fairy Balm is a glitter-infused powder puff, and that is going to be retailing for $42. Whew, girl, those are expensive body care products. But it is Rihanna, and I don't doubt that it is going to be very, very good. That being said, I am not going to be picking up either one of these because it is so damn expensive. $60 for body shimmer. I don't need body shimmer. I don't use things like that because I'm always scared that I'm going to get it on my clothes. I'm scared that I'm going to get it on someone else or someone's nice white couch. I don't do that. I fake tan and I get that everywhere, and that's bad enough. I think the shades are beautiful. I love that she came out with 2 different shades for different skin tones. Rihanna looks so perfect in the campaign photos. They're not even campaign photos. They're just her chilling in her house, putting on the Body Lava, and she looks absolutely perfect, like an angel or a beautiful cherub or something. I don't know. Aren't cherubs the little fat, flying cupids? I don't know. I'm sorry if I just insulted Rihanna. She looks perfect. That's what I'm trying to say here. But I know myself, and I'm not going to look as good as Rihanna, and I don't need to buy something just because Rihanna looks perfect in it. I already did that once before with the Trophy Wife highlighter, and I regretted it majorly. As far as the Fairy Balm goes, this is a glitter-infused powder puff. I hate glitter to begin with. I think it gets everywhere. I don't think it looks good on my particular skin, but I feel like people with deeper complexions can really appreciate this release because I feel like if you have like a tan to really deep complexion, you are just gonna look like an absolute glowing goddess. On me, I'm pretty pasty, and I feel like this isn't necessarily the best option for my skin and for my personal preferences. For me, I feel like this would just end up looking like I got a bunch of glitter dumped on me as an April Fool's joke versus looking like a beautiful glowing goddess like Rihanna does. On another note, I wanted to mention how the glitter infused powder puff really reminds me of the 2000s. I'm pretty sure that Paris Hilton had something like this, and this just reminds me of Paris Hilton. And tube tops are back, and people have been dressing more 2000s lately, and I'm 100% here for it because I loved it. I love the 2000s. The Simple Life was hilarious. They were so dumb, but they were so funny, and I love it. I wanted to mention how there was actually a product back in the day by Urban Decay called Marshmallow, and it was essentially the same thing. You got this little container, I believe it had zebra print on it, and it had like edible body glitter in it, and you would just stamp it on your body and you could lick it and it tasted like marshmallows. My friend had it and we would just like eat it. Like, I don't know why I'm telling you guys all these weird stories about me eating cosmetics and things that you're not supposed to consume, but it's just a thing. It's just a thing. I don't know. But they used to make that. Urban Decay used to make that. And I just think it's funny how all these like 2000s trends are coming back, and I'm kind of here for it. I may not participate in some of them, but I'm here for it. So next on the pay or stay away list is the Colourpop Festival Essentials. They are going to be releasing 24 new pressed powder singles. They are going to be releasing 14 Ultra Satins, and these are launching on April 6th at 10 a.m. So they are releasing the 24 new pressed powder singles, and you can get them for $4 just as the single pan, and you can get them for $5 in the compact. You can get the Ultra Satins for $6.50. So the pricing is pretty standard for Colourpop. Now, these single eyeshadow shades, I want all of them. They are so perfect. I feel like they're everything the Colourpop line needed. I mean, good lord, the greens and the pastel purples, and there's a hot coral in there. So I think it's safe to say that we know which shade that I'm at least going to be buying. I'm going to be getting that hot coral, and I'm probably going to be getting the peach shade and maybe even some of the lavenders. So I am really inclined to get these and start making some lavender eye looks. These colors inspire me, and I'm definitely going to be picking some up. I'm going to have my alarm set at 10 a.m. Actually, I work April 6th at 10 a.m., but I'm going to sneak upstairs and make sure that I'm able to purchase these at 10 a.m. because I want them, and knowing Colourpop, they're probably going to sell out. When it comes to the Ultra Satins, I'm going to be staying away from those only because when I see a lipstick shade, if it doesn't immediately pop out at me, I usually don't really go for it. I know what I like when it comes to lipsticks, and none of these shades really call to me. And I'm not so much experimental with lipstick. I'm more so experimental with like blush and highlight and eyeshadow. I'm more so willing to be experimental in that aspect of makeup versus lipstick. I usually stick to what I know, and nothing's really screaming at me in this collection. So I'm going to be passing over the Ultra Satins, but I am most definitely going to be paying for those Colourpop pressed shadow. And finally, I saved the most interesting for last. So Tarte decided to throw this palette at us, and everyone was really, really excited. I tagged Angelica Nyquist in this because I saw this and thought of her immediately, and she was just talking about in her video the day this launched about how she had never bought a Tarte palette and did not care to because they are just basic, boring brown neutrals, and I could not agree more. I have one Tarte palette, it's the Styled by Her Rouge palette, and I only have that for the blush shade, and that's it. And I bought that discounted. So I think when everyone saw this palette be released by Trend Mood on April 1st, I think everyone had their credit cards out ready to fork over their money to Tarte, which had been a company that had not been getting a whole lot of business from people who are at least in the beauty community. And I think everyone knows what Tarte has messed up on this year, so a lot of people have been staying away from Tarte. So then this palette comes along, and everyone is ready to give Tarte their money. People who have been boycotting Tarte and who don't want to really purchase from Tarte were saying that they were going to give Tarte their money for this palette. And it turns out that Tarte really pulled a fast one on all of us, including Trend Mood, who was also fooled by this trickery, who thought that she was going to have something to report on. So let's all just take a moment of silence to remember Tarte and, you know, remember the life and the legacy that they led. You know, we had Tarte Shape Tape. That was really good. One of the best concealers on the market, in my humble opinion. And that's about it. So let's just take a moment to remember them and, you know, grieve the loss that we have in this beauty community, because Tarte is freaking dead to so many people now. Who let them hire these people doing the marketing? Who is on the board of people back at Tarte headquarters, sitting at the board of people who let things pass and let things, you know, get onto the market? Who did they hire to do that? Because I think they need to fire those people immediately and hire new people. People who know what a good variety in shade range is. People who know what a good April Fool's joke is versus an April Fool's joke where instead of fooling us, they made a freaking giant fool of themselves. So many people wanted to buy this palette. If you look in the comments on Trend Mood's initial post about the actual palette itself, every single comment is, I was willing to buy this. I don't even like you guys, but I was willing to buy this. People were saying that they were going to be ready for it when it released. And it's so perfectly done because this looked like a real freaking palette. So they put in so much time and effort to making this April Fool's joke look like a real thing. They even did a campaign photo shoot for it. But they can't put the time and effort into making the Tarte Shape Tape foundation line, you know, anything close to acceptable. But they can put in, you know, hours of work into this stupid April Fool's prank and totally gyp all of us. I feel very strongly about this, obviously, but that was a freaking gorgeous palette. The most exciting thing I've ever seen Tarte release, ever, in the entire history of Tarte. And they just took a giant poop all over everyone. That's what they did. That was the April Fool's joke. They just took a poop on everyone and left. And they're laughing about it, thinking it's hilarious. They're probably one of those social media accounts that just posts and runs. They don't stick around to see what people have to say about it. They're just like, this is the joke, guys. Haha, isn't this funny? And then dips the F out and then doesn't see that everyone actually wanted this palette. So I think a lot of people are pretty angry with Tarte, to say the least, but this was the worst April Fool's joke that I've seen in a damn long time. But you know what was a really good April Fool's joke? Remember on The Office when Jim switched himself out for Asian Jim and that was the April Fool's joke? That was freaking hilarious. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but that was a damn good April Fool's joke.
You're not Jim. Jim's not Asian.
You seriously never noticed?
You know, if Tarte did something cute like that, then everyone wouldn't be mad at them, but instead they took a poop on all of us and ruined our hopes and dreams of having a beautiful, cool-toned green-blue palette on the market, and especially in Sephora. There's like no color in Sephora, okay? There's no color. It's all very neutral, all very bland, and you really have to go to indie brands to find really unique and interesting concepts and colors. So Tarte could have been a leader in Sephora. They could have literally taken the market by storm, but instead they decided to turn everything into a joke. Well, joke's on you, Tarte, because you have angered so many people this year. And that's all I have to say about that. And that was very ranty, but I'm sure that you guys know what I'm talking about, and I know at least one of you agrees with me. Don't lie. I know you do. But with that, guys, that is going to be wrapping up this week's Pay or Stay Away. I know I got a little bit ranty at the end there. I feel like I get ranty in all of these, but I feel like a lot of people do. I mean, it's a way to express our opinions about the beauty community and the product releases and what is awesome about it and what is not so awesome about it. So I do hope that you don't mind that too much. I can get a little sassy from time to time. There are some really good releases that are coming up soon, and I am so freaking excited for the Colourpop shadows and the Morphe blush trios. Those I am 100% getting, so I'm stoked on that. Are you guys going to be picking up these releases? Do you guys feel similarly to me about any of this stuff? Let me know. I'm intrigued. I'm interested in knowing what you guys feel about these releases, because I feel like this week we had some very controversial and interesting ones. I do hope that you consider subscribing. I have all sorts of makeup stuff happening here on this channel every single week, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing day wherever you are, and thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!